In our session, we will be discussing about array and its various options available in AutoCAD 2012. If you go to the modify panel, here you can see the various type of arrays like rectangular, path or polar. So how can you define the array? The array is something which is defined as a collective set of various drawing objects where they maintain a global relation that may be in a particular order. The order may be rectangular, the order may be polar, or order may be any directional or path. So they maintain a proper dimensional relation when you define the array. If you see example, you can clarify the comparison and the definition part as well. So after selecting this rectangular array, you need to note that the rectangular array is something which you can define by specifying your columns and rows and the distance between the column and the rows item. For example, if this is the object and I am selecting this and going for enter, you can see you will be prompted to select the other corner. I am defining this as my corner for the array. Once you define this, you can directly go to right click and spacing. Spacing is something between this rows and column. So you can see this here, the distance between rows I am specifying, let us say 100, and your distance between column, let us say I am specifying 100. Then you can see here the distance between your rows and columns are maintained here. And what about the number of items? You may require 15, you may require 5, you may require 10. That can be also edited. If you double click this array, directly we will be getting this edit panel where you can see the columns. Number of columns I am requiring maybe 14, and number of rows may be requiring 14. That you can update here instantly. Or if you want to change the gap between the center, here you can see, if you put your cursor, you can see column spacing. I may be requiring 90, and here also I may be requiring 90, and here you can also redefine the center gap. Maybe I am requiring 95, and here also 95. In this way, you can edit the array definition at any point of time, and you can go for close or you can go for escape. So this is the definition part and the procedure which you follow in case of your rectangular array. If you go to the polar array, the polar significance is with the center. If you select the object, let us say this object, I need to go for polar array, enter and specify the center of the array. Let us say this is my center point. Then you can see the items which will be divided over the periphery, and you will be prompted to define the numbers. Let us say 4 is the number. I am going for enter. And what about the angle? 360 degree I need to maintain, and you go for exit. Once you define this, you can see all this array item will be defined under a single category. Once you select it, you will see the edit definition dialog box. You can see here the item count. The item count may be 5. You can see the numbers will be adjusted and angle automatically will be aligned. If you say I need to define the collective angle as 270, this will be with the 270. If I will go for 360, they will be maintained with that. And here also you can divide the gap from the center. If you see this is 750, this also can be adjusted from the center, but you can understand this after going for the more numbers along the radii. This is the 70 from the center. You can go for the numbers. So more numbers you can specify along the direction, and this level is very specific to 3D. You can use that in 3D. In 2D you can only use the rows, items, and you can see that in the 2D interface. and you can escape this to exit and finish your operation. Just like that, if you have one path and you have one object, how you can maintain and how you can specify the path parameters, that you can see in case of your path array. You can directly go to the path array and you can see the select object, that is nothing but your object. Then you go for enter and you can select the path. Once you select the path, you can directly divide the numbers which you need, and directly you can go to expression and you can specify the expression if you need. I am going for 25. The 25 will be the numbers, and you can go for enter, and you can go for the distance between item also if at all required, or else you can go for the exit. In this way you can define the path parameters, and if you select this, you can directly divide the number of items which you need to increase or decrease, that will be fitted within that path, maybe 15, but 15 numbers will be maintained, and automatically the center gap will be decided. If you think in a different way, I need to maintain 200, here it is not allowed, because already you have logged the numbers and path automatically decides the distance. If you go for 20, this will be something else. If you go for 30, this will be something else. So initially when you divide, that you have to decide. So you can go for here either the measure. If you go to measure, here you can measure this. I need 100, and accordingly that will be maintained with the 30, and maybe with 10, maybe with 100 if it is possible, maybe with 30, and this distance you can maintain how much it will be. So measure and divide, these are with two different options. The divide automatically decides the division and numbers you can specify, and accordingly you can have the various options for this, and we'll look in our advanced lecture about the various other properties and options for this path array.